Hey guys, this is Mel, and I know it's been a while, but I'm here to talk about Legends of Tomorrow, episode 208, titled The Chicago Way, which premiered Thursday, December 8, 2016 on the CW, and it's a month later when I'm recording this, so January 8, 2017. So sorry about that, though, guys, but you are still getting my genuine reactions about this episode, as I've written everything down that I wanted to say. I've just been busy in the last month due to holiday reasons. So, you still get my genuine thoughts. I'm only recording thoughts, theories, opinions that I'm getting from the show itself. I haven't read any of the comics, so I'm not getting any spoiler information from that to help me gauge where my predictions should go. So you are getting thoughts from someone who doesn't have that bit of advantage. Also, I only own the thoughts and opinions and predictions I share with you guys. And this is just being made for fun, the video. Anything I use related to the show, like photos and stuff, that can be found through Google. But it's just to make the video look more appealing. But yeah, with that all said, guys, I'm going to try to do this in 10 minutes. So let's start the clock. Let's begin. So something new that we learned in this episode. So this episode takes place in 1927 Chicago. We get to see Al Capone and Elliot Ness. Now, in the original timeline, it kind of veered off course from that when Elliot Ness had a quest for finding an incriminating ledger, which was disrupted because, for reasons being tipped off, and Al Capone actually, because of this, Al Capone ended up becoming a politician in 1931 instead of being arrested like in the original timeline. So because of this change in history, the Legends team go back and fix this aberration. And they kind of do that by continuing with Elliot Ness's mission, with Nathan posing as Elliot Ness, since no one outside the agency knew what he looked like, type thing. So they were trying to get the ledger that would bring Al Capone down. So aside from that, we also see Damien Dark and Eobard Thawne, who is still unnamed by the Legends team, and we see them kidnap Sarah and Professor Stein, and we actually get introduced back to Malcolm Merlyn, who joins Damien Dark and Eobard Thawne. And this Merlyn is trying to make a deal with Sarah, and he actually brings up everything that has happened that we know from Sarah's history, so it's safe to say that this Malcolm, or I'm saying that this Malcolm is from 2016. So he's trying to make a deal with her to try to get the 9 years of her life back. So pretty much it's been 9 years since she was shipwrecked on the Queen's Gambit. So he also admits or confirms to Sarah that he was the one who sabotaged the Queen's Gambit because he was trying to kill Robert Queen, which ultimately led to her being shipwrecked and being marooned on Lian Yuan, which led her to the League of Assassins later on. So, aside from that, we also get Eobard Thawne pretending to be Professor Stein to find the amulet on the Wave Rider. He uses the same device that he used to impersonate Dr. Wells back on season 1 of The Flash. So we get to see that bit of future technology again. Also, we see Malcolm actually making a deal with Sarah, the amulet that they want in exchange for Professor Stein alive and well. So we found out that the amulet is actually a piece needed to make a compass that will point them to a device that could rewrite time. At least that was my understanding from watching the episode for the first time. There's a little bit of jumbled up in the dialogue, or I might have gotten interrupted at that point, but that was my understanding of it. But I'll definitely have to go back and check that out, though. But any tidbits I picked up on was the fact that Mick Rory was hallucinating Captain Cold being with him, who reprimands Mick for going soft. We get Mick and Amaya getting closer together to the point that Mick considers her a friend, kind of like the Bonnie and Clyde between the two of them, minus the romance, unless they're at the early stages of it, who knows, but he made that comparison. Also, we see a sibling rivalry between Ray and Nathan. We have Ray with his Atom suit again, Nathan trying to hone in his steel skin skills and all that. We also have Professor Stein confessing to Sarah about the existence of his daughter Lily, Sarah's not really happy about that at first, but eventually she accepts it, saying that Lily is a part of their family. They're Legends family and whatnot, so they have to protect her. And also at the very end, surprise, surprise, we find Rip Hunter is hiding as a director in LA in 1967. So let's move on to the most shocking moment of the episode. I definitely have to say that the new weapon that Eobard Thawne is after is my most shocking, because I don't really understand, like I said, or remember the specifics about it, but I remember thinking in that moment when he was explaining, like, oh crap, that's what he's going after. So there's that. He actually has a plan to his reasons for jumping back in time so far back. So there's that. Also, more to the team, I guess you could say. I was surprised that Rip Hunter is hiding as a director. I wasn't expecting that, let alone expecting to see him alive. I mean, I had hoped we'd see him alive at some point in somewhere in time, but to be in a director, it's kind of a more publicized profession he could take, so unless he's going under a different alias and he's just one of those directors that make sure he doesn't get photographed, then like I'm kind of surprised he wasn't found by the team just yet. So let's move on to the top 3 favorite moments of the episode. I do remember my top favorite moment was Mick taking charge of the Legends team. When both Sarah and Professor Stein were taken, they kind of left them without a leader and kind of left them without someone who was posing as a leader at the very beginning. So when everyone was trying to bicker, you got Nathan and Ray's sibling rivalry going on. You got Maya and Jax trying to run interference. So then Mick had to stand up and take charge. And I really liked that. I really liked they had a plan. I really liked how he did it his way. Like he said, he kind of had the team thinking the way he did, so that they could infiltrate Al Capone's people in order to get their people back. So I really liked that. Another favorite that I remember was Sarah and Malcolm talking about the Queen's Gambit. It was great to see these two characters reunited on the screen together, especially with the bad history between the two, and then to also have them talk about history from Arrow. I really liked that. So it was great for them to go all the way back to the very beginning on how Malcolm was indirectly responsible for Sarah ending up in the hands of the League of Assassins and ended up turning into this warrior that she had become. Because if he had just left the Queen's Gambit alone, she would have came back without a problem to her health, but maybe a bit of problem with Laurel after her affair with Oliver was exposed. But there's that. I was a little disappointed that they didn't bring up the fact that Malcolm was behind Sarah's death in season 3 of Arrow, so I was a little surprised by that. But I was a little surprised that wasn't mentioned. So there's that. But at least that they got to be on screen together. And then another favorite I had was the reappearance of Captain Cold. Kind of makes me wonder why now of all times Mick is now hallucinating his dearly departed friend, but there's got to be a reason. Got to be a reason. Okay, moving on. Top 3 peeved moments. I only have the one, and that is the fact that I am still annoyed that this episode is the first time we see Malcolm Merlyn in it, when he is supposedly he supposedly has the series regular status for this season of Legends, yet we are, halfway through the season, and this is the first time we see him. This is actually the first time we see him this year. Or technically, it was the part 2 of the 3-part crossovers when we saw Malcolm for the first time this year in any of the 3 shows. So that's kind of annoying, even though he's a bad guy. It's like I kind of expected to see Malcolm more often because of his upgraded status. So there's that. Let's move on. What moment will I remember most when I look back on this episode? Legion of Doom gaining another member. So there's that. I guess it's safe to assume when Eobard Thawne took Damien Darhk on a time travel trip, they went to the future to grab Malcolm Merlyn. So could have been that. That could have been the reason why for the trip. So yeah, but also begs the question of when in 2016 they took Malcolm Merlyn, and if it was during the time the Dominators had been attacking, I guess you could say. Quickly, let's go to random questions. My first question is, has Damien Dark been made aware of his future? More so than what Sarah had told him a few episodes ago. I mean, he kind of did go to the future, I'm assuming, since we got the Malcolm that we did. But how much was he exposed to that future, I guess is the question. Next question. Has Malcolm Merlyn shared anything about his time? Again, assuming he's from 2016 and all that. With the Damien Dark from the past. Last question. How has no one found Rip Hunter yet? Kind of still wondering that. Kind of still mentioned that earlier on. But that's my question. But let's move on to critic predictions very quickly. Sorry about that. So based off the promo for 209, the Legends of Tomorrow is moving to a new date and time. It's now moving to Tuesdays at 9 o'clock. So 209 actually returns on Tuesday, January 24th, 2017 at 9 o'clock. Immediately after The Flash in its original Tuesday 8 o'clock slot. So there's that. And the promo shows Legion of Doom actually being named by the Legends team. And they go after and they have Rip Hunter. And the Legends team know about it. So it's about time that they find him, even though I think they should have picked up on something if he's been a director in the 60s for however long he's been there for. But the synopsis for 209 hasn't been released yet, since we're a bit more than 2 weeks away from the episode airing, so I have to wait a bit more. But off of that promo, question now is, will Rip Hunter join the team again after he's separated from the Legion of Doom? Or does he even want to, or will he want to go back to the 60s and just live out his life as a director? So there's that. So what do you guys think of the episode? What do you guys like about it? What do you think is going to happen next? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your own thoughts, theories, and predictions about all of that. If you want, check out my Tumblr page. The link for that is down below. I read blog promos, web clips, quotes, GIFs, all that good stuff. So links for that down below. It's connected to my WordPress account as well, which can be found down below. You can follow me there as well. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, check out my other videos if you haven't done so already. Since this was for the mid-season finale of Legends of Tomorrow, when it comes back with episode 209, I'm going to do the format a little differently. So I hope you tune in to see what the changes are for that. But until next time, guys, this is Mel. Wish you all a great day, great week wherever you are, and hope you had a happy new year. Bye for now, guys.